never be the same. Download the SVP app today on Roku, Apple, and Fire TV. Watch us. You know why?
Welcome to Talk Along with Daryl O'Neal. I'm your host. I got my main man Jerome.
What's going on, Daryl?
And we talk so much trash, man. We had to bring my main man Mike with us.
That's a good show. Whenever we
Yeah,
got Mike
we
here.
got to do it.
Yes.
And look, today we're gonna talk about, Mike and myself and Jerome had a show 3 or 4 shows ago where we talked about that the National Guard can only be deployed under certain scenarios.
That's right.
And we have not had that identified. Yeah. But we all thought, Mike and I thought that the politics were not going to be able to overcome the governors because the governor is the governor of the state and he can do what he wants in the state normally.
Right.
And we believe the politics were not going to, that nobody was going to be able to overcome the politics except for Jerome.
And Jerome said,
yeah.
yes, it will.
Yeah, but Jerome did say
it's going to prevail.
So
because what? It was against the citizens of Memphis and Shelby County. They didn't want it. They were never consulted, and so they were overridden by a decision out of Nashville. And the chancellor said no.
So let's give our shout outs.
Okay,
give
cool.
a shout out to California.
Yeah.
Give our shout outs to Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yes.
Shout outs to West Memphis, Arkansas. Shout outs to Memphis, Shelby County. Shout outs to Mississippi. Shout outs to the great state of Missouri. Let's give some shout outs to Jerome's family.
Hey, fam.
Shout outs to Mike's family.
Yeah.
Shout outs to my family, especially my wife. Yeah. So we gotta make sure we say wise.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Mike, what happened, man?
Well, I don't know if a lot of people, let me say this first of all, something I have noticed, because a lot of people are saying they want the National Guard, they want the National Guard, they want the National Guard. But I'm almost convinced that people are confused when it comes to the National Guard.
Right.
And it comes to the other agencies that are here in the city of Memphis. Because people keep saying they want the National Guard, but when they're referring to it, a lot of times I see it on social media, they're talking about the FBI, they're talking about the
state of Tennessee, the U.S. Marshals,
ATF, the Marshals, and things like that.
DEA and all that.
Because realistically, when you see all of these people going around town, kicking in doors, locking folk up, ICE, and all of that kind of stuff,
that's not the National Guard.
You're going to see them in civilian clothes mostly.
Yeah, that ain't the National Guard.
Except for the troopers. The troopers been getting off around here. They've been chasing folks and kicking in doors and on the street corners. They've been doing their thing. But I want to clarify that because when we get into this conversation about National Guard, I want people to understand a lot of, when they talk about, 2,000 and some arrests, they talk about, 114 individuals, juveniles that have been found, and they associate that with the National Guard, but that is not the National Guard.
You're right.
The National Guard has only been downtown, walking in groups, patrolling, okay?
Patrolling is probably not even the best word either. They're walking in groups. Because they have no real functioning. Their operation order is limited.
Yes.
They can't arrest.
Right.
They can't detain.
Correct.
They can't chase nobody.
Exactly.
So all they're doing is walking around.
Right.
Patrolling is a mission, and they don't have a mission. So that's my issue with the National Guard.
But that's why I wanted to clarify too. A lot of the things that everybody keep throwing out there, even those supporters of Donald J. Trump and those supporters of the National Guard being here, let's get this straight. Those individuals that you see are making all of these arrests, finding all of these lost juveniles, and all of these good things that you say are happening here in the city of Memphis. It is not the National Guard.
Well, I think
Angel,
more
are we live, Angel? Okay, can you put the phone number up there just in?
I think
Thank you.
more so, it's more a what? It's more a attitude. It's a feeling. It's emotional. It's something that's happening. because I see a difference in the crime statistics. I see a difference in how people are driving along the streets. We no longer have people cowboying.
But that's not the National Guard.
Understood. But it could possibly still have some overlapping type of feelings for even the criminal element that may think that the National Guard is present, so I won't do. It's a deterrent.
And I'm gonna bring it back around.
It's what I think is happening.
I'm gonna bring it back around because Daryl was asking me a question initially, but I wanted to clarify because of the way that I feel about certain things. Because everybody wants to associate all of this reduction in crime with the National Guard. No, it's not the National Guard. It's the FBI, it's the marshals, it's the state troopers, it's the SCI, it's the MPD,
and Shelby County Sheriff.
Well, all of those law enforcement agencies.
I agree.
That's what it is.
I agree too, but also
if you can bring all of them here all the time, then you're going to continue to see that.
But also too, I'm hearing recently too that they're not really arresting these violent criminals or the felons. It's the low-level people who are being arrested. And all of these tickets that they're giving out. That's going to cause more problems than what we're going to be able to handle. Because if I couldn't get my tags earlier, and now I got to pay all these court costs and fines, that's going to keep me even more not getting my tags.
I think it's funny because I pay attention to social media. I pay a lot of attention to social media. And what you're seeing is, and even a lot of the OGs, the old heads, are getting pissed.
Right.
And they're pissed because they said the YNs, or the young people that are normally out here committing a lot of those crimes, that are in these fin-fins, that are in the Challengers and the Wild Hellcats and all of that, you don't see them no more. Right. They inside playing video games. But what I'm starting to see, and even down at Clerk Halbert's office, what we're starting to see is a lot of older people that are coming in that have not had their tags in a year, year and a half, 2 years, you know. So a lot of these people that are working hard every day and they're out here doing whatever, those are the ones that are being stopped because they have been stopped. Now they have to come down to actually get their tags. Well, if they haven't had them in a year, you know, sometimes you got to decide whether you're going to eat, you're going to get your tags, you're going to do this.
Absolutely.
Even if you're a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, I'm not mad.
So that's who we're seeing.
Well, you know what? My wife said to me the other day, she said, the National Guard, again, and I'm not a fan of them being here, but she said to me, like Mike, if they're walking around, is it possibly just the fact that they're walking around, are they a deterrent?
Well,
that's my idea.
They're not walking around in Raleigh. They're not walking around in Orange Mound.
No, they're not walking around downtown.
Right. They're not walking around in Parkway Village. They weren't at Wolf Chase Mall the other day.
Wait a minute.
That's a whole other story.
For sure, we don't have 150 National Guards walking around downtown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do.
They got to be scattered all over the city.
No, they're not. No. They're not.
Because you got different shifts.
They got shifts.
You got different shifts.
Yeah.
But I hear the plan is they're talking about bringing an additional
150.
I saw something today. They're talking about bringing 1,000 here because they want to put 100 at each precinct. Yeah. Because now they do want to put it out into the community. Okay. Because what's happening is you have the holidays approaching, and when you have like Eastgate Shopping Center, you've got Northgate Shopping Center, you got Southgate Shopping Center, you got a lot of these malls and complexes. They're talking about putting them in those areas to deter crime as well.
And you know the thing about it though, to solve all of this would be very, very simple. Is to pay people a living wage so they can support their families and so they can have some decent things. I talk about it all the time.
Let's put a pin in that because I'm not agreeing. I don't agree with you on that.
A chicken in every pot. And we were
chicken in every
pot. Because we need to raise the standard of living for all of the people in Memphis, and crime would go away, it would be dissipated.
Okay, first off, I agree there's a lot of people that need help, 110%. I do think the wages need to be better. Yeah. I do think the opportunities need to be better. But I don't think that would change some of the scenarios that we got going on. Some of the scenarios we got going on are ignorance. and my father used to say, and anytime I would do something stupid, my father would walk up to me and hit me right here and do me like that. Because he says, when you're a boy, the reason why you're doing stupid stuff is frontal lobe.
Right.
Your frontal lobe ain't developed.
Oh, wow.
And he said, so what's going on here is these guys out there, the young guys that out here in the Hellcats and all these charges and doing all these donuts in the real, their frontal lobe hadn't developed. They don't realize they stuck on stupid. And see, and when you get to be, a little older,
Right, I agree
you
with
know,
that.
because think about it, Mike.
I agree with that.
When in the military, when you first get in, you're 18.
Man, I got beat down.
Woo!
I
And
got
you
beat
get the like
agree
you.
with
Now they done changed the rules. Now you can't. They can't do it
Can't
like they
all
used
that
to
stuff
do.
Used to do. I agree.
But they used to. Man, you would get dogged.
Yeah.
Because when you were 18 and you were a dude, you thought you could control the world.
Yeah.
And so they had to twist that out of you.
They're going to break you down and build you all the way
twist that
back
all the
up.
way out of you.
I agree with that.
And right now we don't have that.
Yeah.
But let's back
I
up for
agree- I
let's
agree
back
with
up for 1 minute. Though.
Hey, even out there on live, if you want to be a part of this conversation, you got some input you want to put in, please call 901-720-3855. 901-720-3855. We would love to hear what you got to say about
Yeah,
this.
we want to talk about. Now look, so let's back up for a minute. So we said, and we all agreed on this, the only way that the National Guard can be deployed, or the military, not the U.S. military, because you can't deploy the U.S. military in the United States.
Well, you're not supposed.
You're
to.
not supposed.
You're not supposed.
You're
to.
not supposed to
But
be deploying them
you-
in the
yeah,
in the
but
cities.
but we have a group of people who are now controlling stuff. Will do any and everything, and then get rebuked for it later on.
Yeah.
But if I want to do it, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And then somebody can tell me I was wrong. for
Well,
doing it.
so the rule is civil unrest,
Right.
right, or national disaster.
Disaster, right.
Okay, that's how simple it is.
That's right.
Civil unrest and national disaster.
That's right.
And you just can't say, oh, you got all this crime. That's civil unrest, and that's the stumping stone that everybody was using.
Right.
Oh, you got all this crime down here. That's got to be civil unrest. They did that in Oregon. They did that in Chicago. And they did it in D.C. and they did it here in Memphis. I thought, I'm going to stand out here. I specifically thought the chances of the mayor, Shelby County mayor, able to get the governor overturned was slim and none.
And you called me and told me.
I called you when it
called
happened.
and said-
And I said, man, they won.
He sure did. He sure did
Because,
call me.
but
Yeah.
one thing we said all the time, Jerome, you can be absolutely right
That's
in the
right.
law
That's
and
right.
lose.
That's right.
And you be absolutely wrong and win.
That's right.
So there's been Republican governors for the last 12 years, and I don't want to get all political
That's
on you.
right.
But what that means is that everybody in these positions, the Court of Appeals, the Supreme Court, all these high-level legislative positions have been appointed by the governor.
Right.
Now, that does not happen in Shelby County because when we go through regular elections, normally the people that the governor appoint here in Shelby County, they go through an electional race and they lose.
They usually lose. Yeah.
And the same thing happens in Nashville.
That's right.
So I think the local politics, again, this is why you should go out and vote locally.
That's right.
The local politics won the day
That's right.
in Nashville.
That's right.
Now,
But how long?
how long that day going to be won,
Right.
but the local politics, like we have here, won the day. So, I think it was a good thing?
Oh, without a doubt. And a lot of times in fact, I'm involved in some things that you're going to hear about very soon in bankruptcy court. A lot of times, you don't necessarily have to win to win. You know what I'm saying? Because what you do is you sensitize the opposing parties that they might face some backlash. And so what happened is when they were able to impose it and nothing happened from the city side, they thought that it was going to be okay, but all of a sudden the county said, oh, heck, no, we ain't going with that. And then it bounced back. So now, from now on, anytime a decision comes down in our area now, they have to think twice. What if they rebuke that?
Did that hurt Paul Young by not signing on to this?
I think it hurt him immensely because you had the majority of the people. Because me again watching social media, you've had a lot of people that have been at Paul Young.
Yeah.
You know, they've been at him.
And we had that on the show. That show we were talking about.
They've
You
been
know,
at
why
him-
he didn't do something.
They've
Why
been
he
at him for different other decisions that he's made.
Right.
Also, they wanted to know why he had not adjoined himself into the lawsuit
That's right.
for the city of Memphis.
That's right.
Because you had City Councilman J.B. Smiley,
JB.
who was actually the face and representing
Right.
the city of Memphis
Right.
in that lawsuit.
Right.
Whereas they were wondering, well, why didn't the mayor do it? You know what I
Right.
mean? You got the mayor of the county, so why is the mayor of the city of Memphis not also represented in this fight for the citizens?
That's right.
If this is how the citizens truly feel.
That's right.
And again, and we always say this, Jerome. We always say this. When you get elected to office, you're not there for yourself.
That's exactly right.
You're there for your constituents.
is exactly
so if the
right.
citizens,
Okay, I'm sorry.
That
Sorry.
is exactly right.
so
Okay.
the citizens
Yeah.
did want this fight, whether we lost, won or
Yeah,
lost.
yeah.
The citizens wanted to, and somebody said that like when we had a whole bunch of people on your social media said, we just wanted the mayor to stand up.
Exactly.
We didn't care whether or not they, and you said the same thing, Jerome. We didn't care whether or not the city won.
That's right. That's right.
Stand up.
And the other thing too is we really wanted the city to enter into the consent decree with the federal government when it came down about how black people were being treated by the Memphis Police Department.
I'm not certain I agree with you
Well,
on that.
I'm
Yeah.
saying not necessarily enter into the consent decree, but to acknowledge that what they found was a problem, and it needed to be dealt with. That's why he appointed
Judge Donald.
Judge Donald to come in and try to do something. But we really wanted the consent decree because it would. But we knew that this Republican administration was coming in, and more than likely it was not going to withstand. Because
Yeah,
he has dismantled all of them all across the country.
Yeah, I don't know that we going deeper here. I'm not certain. I've never been a fan of consent decrees.
Okay.
And I would be a fan of consent decrees if they in fact worked. What they end up doing is it benefits the political ideology at that particular time, and they don't benefit the community.
Well, and then I look
spend all that money.
I look at the consent decree that they entered into with juvenile court.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I didn't necessarily agree with that consent decree because
It didn't get. It was beneficial. It didn't.
it made it worse.
It made it worse.
It made
yeah.
it worse, and that it put
They
us.
are this
it put us
ignorant
in the-
organization that really just
It
screwed
put us in
everything.
the situation
Yeah.
that we're in now
Yeah.
because when we talk about the revolving door,
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, I don't think young people should be just dealt a definitive blow when it comes to them making mistakes growing up. But at the same time, I do think you need to be accountable because what was happening was you had individuals that were getting caught stealing cars 15 times and they were released. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you got to be held accountable for your actions because, and then they knew that if they stole a car and if they got caught, that they would be released. So that's why a lot of times they let the young kids hold the dope. You know what I mean? Because they knew that they weren't going to receive a harsh penalty or anything like that.
But thank God that I didn't get that kind of treatment when I was coming up. Otherwise, I would,
which kind?
The kind that would have prevented me from having a second chance or a third chance.
But you didn't do all
or
of
a
that, Jerome,
fourth
because
chance.
they'd have beat you down in the community. They'd have beat you down in your house. You were held accountable on the front end, and you didn't need.
I was, but
and the community held you
but
accountable.
I did have a shady history.
Well, you did.
Of not doing what I'm supposed to do
Okay.
when I'm supposed to do it.
Well, you lucked out.
Look, that's what I'm saying. And so we have a congressman that Jasmine Crockett called out the other day down in Florida. He was talking about 2 strikes and you're dead. He has had 2 or 3 different chances. Did you see that? Where he was granted diversion, and then here's an adult. He
Oh,
was
a bunch of
done
hypocrites,
this.
though.
I mean, 3.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Let's go. She
It was terrible.
She read off a litany
It was
of
terrible.
things that a lot of politicians,
It was
to include
terrible.
the president,
That's
has
right.
done.
It was
But
terrible.
you want to say everybody else, you know, you calling folks Miss Piggy, you grabbing folks' genitalia, you've been accused of rape, you have 34
And
felonies.
saying,
you
and him
have-
saying
you
I
have
can
this,
do anything
you-
I want
you
to
know,
a
you know,
female.
Hey, y'all, with all due respect, he did it and got away with it. I mean, we can say whatever we want to say, but I mean, I'm not condoning it, but at the end of the day, he said I can, and he did.
And so that's why I'm not a fan of this slapping the door, putting folks in jail and closing the door.
If you look, people got to be held accountable.
I agree.
But here's what I'm thinking, and Jerome, I just think it needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
If it's consistent, I'm cool with it.
I think I could go along.
Yeah,
with
but
that.
I mean,
I'm saying I don't want to hear. Well, you locking up majority black boys. Well, we're in a majority black city. We're in a majority black environment where a lot of the victims are black.
Right.
The crimes that are committed against
No question.
law-abiding black
No
citizens.
no question.
And I don't want to give people passes. See, but that's what opens the
Wait a
door
minute,
to
you
all
don't
of
want to
this.
give them a pass at all.
No, man, no, that's not what I'm saying, Jerome.
Okay.
I'm saying I have a heart. I'm humanitarian. I want to, make sure that everybody has a chance. But I'm not for all of this. Well, you know what? I'm gonna give you 99 chances, and I'm gonna keep allowing you the ability
but also
to,
too,
and then you eventually kill somebody.
But look,
that ain't me.
But
That
the
ain't
question
me.
becomes, why does a young man choose jail over a job? Why do they choose something over books? Why? Why are they making these choices?
What?
If it's something, it's like the girl, when we had the young lady who did the honey lady on there, how she talked about the program that they have available for young people. One thing we got to do is we got to teach our children to have some
a lot
kind
of people
trade.
they don't. You got I think you have too many women that are raising boys.
Right.
That's me.
I-
That's Mike Williams personally.
It's an issue.
And don't get me wrong.
I
In the
believe-
past,
believe
I
that
think
too.
women
It's an
could
issue.
raise boys, but they were a lot harder.
It's an issue.
But now, when you got a society, and no offense to anybody, the number to call is 901-720-3855. 901-720-3855. But
Y'all
when
should
you
blow
got,
that
when
phone
you got a
up.
society
Blow the phone up,
where
y'all.
everybody wants to be taken care of, don't nobody want to work.
Well, that's in Jerome's society.
What do you mean
Well,
taking care
and
of?
he want to give them another basket.
What- I mean,
Jerome's
look,
Jerome's
He want to give them
society.
another basket.
What do you
Give
mean?
them another basket.
What do you mean taking care of?
Exactly what I said.
If we can build a bomb,
give a food voucher.
I'm one of them social media dudes again.
if
give
we
a car
can
voucher.
build
Look,
a
all I see is
bomb,
women on there. If you can't do this for me, what can you do for me? Let me see what you have. Oh, okay, hold on. Wait, sweetie. What do you have?
What you bring to the table?
Well, I
Yeah.
bring me to the table. But see, that ain't enough. You understand what I'm saying?
if we can spend $14 million on a missile, you tell me we can't spend $14 million in a neighborhood
No. I'm
to
not saying
bring
that.
up,
I'm not saying
to
that.
have decent housing,
not saying that.
to have
I'm not saying that.
affordable schools,
I'm not
to
saying that,
after
Jerome.
hour tutoring, buses that run like they're supposed to
Oh,
run.
I'm pissed off about that.
And so that's all I'm talking about, this world that allows everybody to have an equal chance.
Well,
And
that's
so-
socialism.
You sound like a socialist.
I-
Yeah, that's the socialism.
And I
Yeah,
am,
like
and
a
I
socialist.
am a socialist.
I ain't a socialist.
I
I'm
am
a
a
capitalist.
Because look,
I'm the one
they
that's working my
used to
butt off.
know
what?
Y'all
They
working
what?
my butt off.
And they want me to pay more
You
taxes.
spending my money.
Man, what?
They
Yeah.
used to
I'm a
say,
capitalist.
They used to say socialist, and everybody would run out the back door.
I
but-
still run.
but it-
So that means I'm gonna have to pay something else.
that means that you had an opportunity that someone else did not have.
I see.
What?
See, Jerome. See, I get
We
annoyed
were
when
talking about
somebody.
their National Guard.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but I get annoyed when people say that I have an opportunity or I had an opportunity somebody else. Man, that's some crap, man. I mean, dude, most of our life has been rough, man.
It was worse when we came
It
up.
was real, man.
was
God,
worse.
dog.
Look, y'all talking about when you came up. I'm 74 years old.
Okay, it was worse when you came
So
up.
absolutely worse.
Okay.
But ain't nobody give you that.
Did not have an opportunity
but you
until
asking for-
1969.
Yeah, but you
Okay.
asking for
67,
people to have-
1967.
You want people now, but you're saying you work your butt off,
Yeah.
Right.
and you want to give somebody that is not willing to work their butt off.
I want to give them. I want to teach them how to
Take.
fish.
Take,
I want them to teach them how to
Take.
fish so that they can feed their
legitimately
family.
take.
Take
That's
take what?
legitimately take a spot in the world. That's what I mean. Legitimate. Find a niche. Find something. Find whatever it is you want to try to do, and turn it.
But remember, there. When did you know you were going to want to be a lawyer? When did you know that?
I mean, I don't
When did you
remember.
know it?
I didn't know it.
You never knew it, right?
I never knew it.
But you got exposed somehow, and the fire in your belly took over and directed you in that place. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about exposure.
Yeah,
If we can expose these kids,
I don't know what Jerome talked about.
I'm talking about a way that we can work ourselves out of where we are now.
Well, here's the thing, and they don't do it no more. And Mike, you probably remember this. When I first joined the military, I had cousins, I had friends that were also joined the military. You know why? They were in trouble.
Right.
It was either join the military or go to jail.
We could do that again.
We don't know. We're not doing it now.
But we could do it again.
Yeah, we're not doing it now because
and I was about to say that early on. And so rather than send a kid to a juvenile facility where they learn how to be even better criminals, why not require 2 years of service? But I talked about that before.
no, I agree with
We
that.
don't have
mandatory service?
Yeah,
two
like
years.
draft?
No, not draft.
No.
Like Israel,
Yeah.
or like some other, like France, like some of the other
years of
countries.
service.
Korea.
It teaches them
Korea,
discipline.
yeah.
It teaches
It's
them
mandatory,
so
yeah.
many things. A trade, because like this young lady talked about that school over there in West Memphis, they would accept anybody, right? And give them a stipend while they're learning how to become a plumber, a carpenter, a mechanic.
And a lot of these boys won't do it.
That's
Will-
the issue.
will not.
Somebody has to
Will
expose
not.
them.
It's
do you
not
mean
exposed.
exposed?
No, it's not exposed,
See-
Jerome.
see-
It's not. It's
Man.
I don't want.
Exactly.
It's not.
Man,
I
that's
don't want.
Man, that's a buster job.
Yeah,
Man, I ain't
I
finna
don't
do
want
that.
that.
What make you what?
And then-
I want to be a lawyer, but you gotta go to school. I ain't going to school.
Yeah,
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's the issue,
Man,
Jerome.
look.
And then what happens is, and you asked about this. What happens is, and why they want to stay in jail. They go to jail. They become institutionalized. I tell you when you got to eat. I tell you when you got to get up. I tell you when you got to clean up. I tell you when you got to go to bed. I tell you when you can play. You institutionalize.
And you
then-
choose that.
You choose that because,
Okay.
and then you get 3 hots in a cot.
Okay.
Exactly. And I ain't gotta worry about.
I ain't
where
got to
I'ma
worry about
stay,
it.
I ain't gotta
And
worry about
then
what
you
I'ma eat.
get out, right?
Right.
And you have no structure.
Right. Right.
And then now you say, look, I got to find a way to get back into that structure where I didn't have to worry about where I was going to be, how was I going to eat, what time I had to get up, what time I had to go to bed.
And the thing about it too is that a lot of these young women will never have a chance to have a decent family life because all our boys are in jail. So are they ever going to uplift themselves if they don't have respectable and eligible men to marry?
But there are men out there.
Well,
But it's not enough of them.
Yeah.
Remember, there's already
Well,
probably about 9 women
think
to
about
every
what-
one man now.
Jerome, only thing we did was switch. Like you said, now a lot of the black kids are in jail, males are in jail.
Right.
Before they were being hung and killed and beaten.
That's
So
true.
we just switched jail from being hung and beaten.
But-
you still had a lapse in population regardless of what the reason was.
But it doesn't have to be that way. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm saying we need to see. We keep using the same things. Lock them up.
No, I
Throw
ain't
away the
doing
key.
that.
Nobody,
Listen,
no. Hey, look, if you get locked up, it's because you did something
Yeah.
to get locked up. So don't think Mike Williams want people to just go out
just
here
don't want you to be
and just
stupid.
lock
Okay.
people up.
I don't want you to
I'm
be
saying
stupid.
if you out here stealing,
Oh, yeah.
you
No,
out here
and you
hurting
know
people,
better. And you
out
know
here
better.
beating on women,
How do you
you
get-
out here
how do you-
molesting children.
Yeah, how do you give
Lock
somebody
them up.
money?
Yeah, I
agree with
said
you. I
put
agree.
them under the jail. I said put
well, I
them
don't
under the
agree.
jail.
I don't
And I
agree.
have no sympathy.
I don't agree.
How
with
does
that.
how does putting a person into a social program help the kid that's decided I'm going to steal, or has decided I'm going to kill,
I don't-
or has
I
decided
don't
I'm
think
going to
that's-
molest somebody? Those people are they got there's something missing already.
So, again, it's the same argument that Booker T. Washington and what's our other hero?
I don't know that.
George Washington Carver?
No,
No.
no.
Put your bucket down wherever you're
Yeah,
saying.
you talking-
I'm talking about. So
I can't think
because
of
they
his
were,
name,
I can't think of his name right
Marcus
now too.
Garvey?
No, it's Booker T.
Dubois,
Washington.
Dubois.
Yeah.
Oh,
Du Bois.
Yeah, W.
Yeah, W. Du Bois. That's it's the same argument now that we're having right here. We sit at this table, is that our kids don't know how to do anything. Every job that you go on now, the Hispanics are on every job, and so we can't even have a set aside in a city that's a majority
What you mean
of
set
black.
aside? The Hispanics are doing the job because a lot of these young
nobody else
black
wanna do
kids
it.
don't want to do
No,
it.
I'm not talking about that. I'm
what
talking
are you
about
talking
contracts for the city of Memphis. You know, I had a contract one time of $1 million, but something came up. I wasn't able to fulfill it. But we should at least have as many black contractors as we have whites.
But we can't get together on nothing.
But where I disagree with you, Du Bois and Booker T's argument was not that. Du Bois' argument is that people need to be intellectually savvy.
That's right.
And
That's
Booker
his.
T said that there's not enough intellectually savvy positions out there. People need to learn a craft.
That's right.
And then they'll have better opportunities
That's
by
right.
learning a craft.
That is the argument.
Yeah, that's the argument. That's the difference.
And it's
they
a
have.
still argument now.
Look, McDonald's jobs are out there because
Right.
there's people that need to work at McDonald's.
That's right.
There's cleaning jobs out there, or janitor jobs out there because there's people that need to do janitor jobs. But everybody can't go to college. They
I
used
agree
to
with
have
that.
trade schools,
I
which
agree
they
with
stopped doing in school.
And that was part of the problem. They took the trade schools
Yeah.
out of the high
They
school.
took those out.
Because I can remember even at Manassas, they had like masonry, they had wood
Wood
shop.
carving,
they
yeah,
had,
wood shop, yeah.
They had
Auto mechanics.
Auto mechanics.
That's
They had
right.
all of that.
Air
Which a lot of
conditioning,
those
refrigerator
could make
repair.
just as much or more money
those-
than an attorney.
Woo, HVAC people,
And see,
man, they make a loot. They
and
make
that's
a
what
grip,
we have
dog.
to show them, that you can make just as much money.
Well, but who took over the school system? We did.
Yeah, exactly.
Who allowed them to take that out of the school system?
We did.
We did. We did. And that's why I always say we are our own worst
Man,
enemy.
we hate each other.
We
I
have-
keep saying we hate each
have
other.
done
I-
our community
I
in.
keep saying we
have
hate each other.
allowed our community to
Yeah.
fail and to fall because those that are at the table, they got damn greedy.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
They got greedy.
I don't
And
disagree
it's,
with
and
that.
it's being shown and proven every day.
I don't disagree with that.
They done sold us. They sold their communities. out.
I don't disagree with that.
Let me end on this last
Okay,
note.
all right.
We out.
So we're getting
already?
close.
Okay.
So let me ask this question. What do you think the Shelby County's chances are going to be to maintain that position against the governor on appeal?
I don't think it's going to last. I think they're going to overturn it.
What you think, Ryan?
I think it's going to last.
If we follow the law, black letter law, it should last.
Because me, even as a layman, he didn't follow the rules.
Yeah.
He didn't get approval from the General Assembly.
That's right.
He didn't take it through the proper channels. He just did it.
He didn't
because-
ask. He didn't ask
He
the
just
people.
did it because that's what the president said he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then they wanted
I'ma
to
carry that water.
They wanted to hold up Marshall Blackburn.
But remember,
Yeah, I'ma hold that one, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it is what it is. But somebody got to make sure that we adhere to policy, to procedures, to the law. You
not
know
going
what
to
I mean?
happen.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
Okay.
The
We'll see.
super majority in Nashville are going to ultimately overturn the chancellor.
So you said everybody just going to circumvent the law.
No,
bump
they're
the
going to have to
law.
rewrite the Constitution
Bump
to
the
do
law.
that.
No, what I'm saying is that all he has to do is get the General Assembly to pass it, and then it's done.
Well,
No,
no,
that's
because you
retroactive.
still have the stipulation that there has to be
Civil arrest.
Civil unrest.
Yeah, we don't have that. And you still have to confer with local entities.
Yeah. And local entities are saying no.
One of them.
Well, he going to eventually bend too. He going to have to.
Yeah.
He going to eventually bend too.
Yeah.
Because he's on the direction to be a one-term man. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I know y'all don't want to hear.
No, we don't
but
wanna
I'm just
hear that,
telling you,
Mike.
he on the direction to be a one-term mayor because he's over there messing with the unions like somebody crazy.
Yeah, yeah. All right, y'all. Well, we
Mike Williams, thank you, man, for
Man,
being
Mike,
on
my
tonight.
man, my man. Look, we chopped it out a lot. We talked about a lot of stuff, y'all. And look, if you got questions or concerns, I mean, we will answer those questions and concerns. We give y'all free call-ins.
Oh, my goodness.
And-
I see a lot of people writing over there.
Yeah. And if y'all wanted to call in to talk all this trash or talk anything you wanted to talk, we'd have let you.
Right here.
We had you.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thank you for watching the show. Mike, I appreciate it, my man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you again for inviting me.
Jerome, as always.
Thank you, brother.
All right,
Thank you.
y'all. Thank you for watching. We'll see you back next week.